Not so long ago, Philippe Coutinho was regarded as one of the world's top football players. The Brazilian star was one of the most comprehensive and terrifying offensive players in the world thanks to his mix of pace, dribbling, vision, and shooting. His ball handling skills were second to none. However, his career took a radical turn recently, and right now he's in a sustained impasse, far from the performances that made him an elite star. Born and raised in Rio's Rocha district between an old shanty town and industrial warehouses, Coutinho was an amazing talent with the ball as a kid. Alongside his brothers Cristiano and Leandro, he honed his skills playing futsal on a local concrete football pitch. With its mad pace, emphasis on first touch, it proved to be the making of the young Coutinho who had to learn to work in tight spaces. He was soon spotted by the scouts at Vasco da Gama and was offered a trial. Before he'd even kicked the ball in professional game for Vasco, Coutinho was signed by Inter Milan in 2008 for 3.7 million euros as a 16-year-old. Inter immediately loaned him back to the Rio Giants for 2 years, where he would get opportunities in the first team. And a year later, Coutinho would help Vasco win the Serie B title as they were promoted to the Brazilian top flight. 5 goals in 31 appearances highlighted his potential, and the Brazilian press hailed him the heir to Kaká, the legendary Brazilian player. Now that is a really big compliment for a 17-year-old guy. In 2010, Coutinho's move to the San Siro was finalized. Coutinho is the future of Inter, manager Rafa Benitez said at the time. But it did not come out to be true, as he scored just 3 goals in 28 games, having a below par performance. During the 2011-12 season, Coutinho struggled to establish himself in Inter's first team, and on 30th January 2012, he joined La Liga club Espanyol on loan until the end of the season. When Coutinho arrived at Espanyol, he was just 19 years old, but he became a leader in a team he had never played with before. At Espanyol, the young Coutinho flourished. In 16 games, he scored 5 goals, which is the highest goals per game ratio before joining Barcelona. His goals for Espanyol included a cheeky Ronaldinho-like free kick against Malaga that was passed under the defensive wall into the net, a trick he repeated for Liverpool on a couple of occasions. Coutinho thrived under then Espanyol manager Mauricio Pochettino, who believed in him, and his loan spell was a success. Following the expiry of his loan deal with Espanyol, Coutinho returned to Inter Milan, but once again struggled to find game time at the San Siro, making just 10 league appearances and scoring 2 goals. Honestly, Inter Milan and Coutinho were just not meant to be together. So looking at this situation, Liverpool decided to bet on the Brazilian, buying him for just 13 million euros. Their faith was rewarded. He became a key member for Rodgers' team, starting almost every match, and in 37 matches creating more chances than any other player, with 2.6 chances per game and ranking the third in the side for shots with 3.6 shots per game, just behind Suarez and Sturridge. With Gerrard, Suarez, Sturridge and Coutinho, Liverpool challenged for the title, and the Brazilian played a big part in arguably Premier League's greatest title race at just 21 years. Of course, they would miss out on the title, but following the departure of Suarez and Sterling, the playmaker became more important. By 2016-17 season, Coutinho was on fire, finishing the season as Liverpool's top scorer and leading the squad for shots, dribbles and key passes. In Klopp's cutting-edge system, Coutinho developed into one of the best all-round attackers in the world, with getting a goal or an assist every 86 minutes in the first half of 2017-18 season. This was the team where Coutinho finally started to be the magician as many regard him to be. During his Liverpool career, he scored 54 goals as well as provided 43 assists in 201 games, being the most important player for this side. Coutinho experienced a fruitful spell at Anfield, getting the love of the fans and the support of the manager. He made everyone fall in love with him. However, a flirtation with Barcelona and Real Madrid soured their relations. With Neymar leaving for PSG and Messi Suarez hitting their 30s, it became a necessity to have a star who could lead them into a new era. Moreover, with Iniesta's impending departure, this move became much more important. In 2017, the Catalans offered 72 million for him, which was flatly rejected. This started a long transfer drama, with Coutinho even submitting a transfer request by email. 2 more bids were rejected from Barcelona, and the situation came to a breaking point when the Brazilian pretended to be injured to force a move to his boyhood club, Barcelona. Faking an injury to not play for Liverpool was one of the worst things he could have done, and a large majority of the fan base till now has not forgiven Phil. Klopp even warned Coutinho, "Stay here and they will end up building a statue in your honor. Go somewhere else and you will be just another player. Here you can be something more." Liverpool chairman Tom Werner tried everything in his power to stop Coutinho from leaving. He tried to seduce him by telling him how things are going in the right direction and that he could experience great nights in the Champions League if he stayed in Liverpool. Eventually, after Jurgen Klopp had lost all his patience with the star man and froze him out of his side, he was sold a year later for €160 million. Damn! Coutinho described the move as a dream, but soon enough, the club he described as a place of magic would become a place of despair for the Brazilian, as his dream unraveled into a nightmare. Arriving for a club record fee, the pressure on Coutinho was tremendous, and from the get-go was expected to perform and become a game changer. He started his time strongly, adapting to Valverde's tactics, playing on left and right of the midfield as well as in the front three, registering 16 goal involvement, helping Blaugrana win the La Liga title and the Copa del Rey trophy. Not a bad way to kickstart his career at Barcelona, right? He showed his quality on the ball and adapting quickly to Barca's way. He rarely gave the ball away and provided something different to Barca by his long shots and link-up play with Suarez from the left flank. Everything was going well for him, and it seemed money spent well by the club. Statistically, this is backed by the fact that his average who scored rating for his first season was 7.66 in La Liga, which, to be honest, is really impressive for a player who had just come to a new team. After a great World Cup with Brazil where he clearly outperformed Neymar, carrying Brazil to the quarters, there were great expectations from him. Fans thought that they finally got the player to replace Andres Iniesta. However, he did not live up to these responsibilities and really struggled to get back to his old form. In the next season, his rating fell below 6.5 in most of the matches. With each match passing, his confidence and performance was degrading. The situation got so much worse that he was even booed by the fans in a match against Rayo Vallecano, which they won 3-1. To make matters worse, he showed off his frustration by celebrating a screamer against Manchester United in the UCL by turning to the fans and sticking his fingers in his ears. He was turned into a shy boy from Brazil with no confidence, no instinct, and no purpose. Klopp's prediction came out to be true as he became just another player at Barcelona. On the other hand, Liverpool won the UCL a season after his departure. The player who was brought to fill the boots of the legendary Spanish playmaker Andres Iniesta had become a shadow of the man that terrorized defenders at Anfield. For the 2019-20 season, to try and recapture some form, Coutinho was loaned to Bayern Munich. While it wasn't a complete failure, he didn't do enough to convince the Bavarians to part with €120 million as the club had the option to make the deal permanent. However, he did enjoy some form of redemption over his previous employees in a Champions League quarter-final. Coming on as a sub, he assisted a Robert Lewandowski goal while scoring 2 himself in an 8-2 win over Barcelona. That season, he did also secure a Champions League winners medal coming off the bench again in the 1-0 win over Paris Saint-Germain. Coutinho returned to Catalonia after Bayern's spell. But again, luck won't do any favor to him as he would be injured for months, and with Pedri emerging as an exceptional player, the chances of Coutinho making the starting lineup would be minimal. Eventually, Barcelona decided to sell Coutinho. Throughout Coutinho's time at Barcelona, it felt like he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Although the player's performances are ultimately what put him in this position, the manner in which the club mismanaged Coutinho restricted any chance of the midfielder succeeding. Coutinho completed his move from Barcelona to Aston Villa for €20 million in hopes of reviving his career. But till now, we haven't seen the old Coutinho. The 30-year-old is far from finished, and although the Barcelona faithful never got the chance to see Coutinho at his brilliant best, hopefully there is another club out there that can bring him back to his best version, because football misses the magical displays of his immense talent. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.